Hi, it's Carrie. I'm doing a shortened version of critically appraising systematic review search methods today. I wanted to show you a common mistake in systematic review methods. So this one says a literature search was conducted from inception to December 2022 using medical subject heading terms for scleroderma renal crisis, and eculizumab. So MeSH terms are only going to apply to using PubMed or MEDLINE and using the Cochrane Library. Those are the only resources that use MeSH terms in a way that you're going to be able to search with them. So I went to the record, scrolled down to the methods, and they did in fact search PubMed, Cochrane, and Google Scholar, but the terms that they've given us, some are MeSH terms and some are not. This is the MeSH database from the National Library of Medicine, and we can look up scleroderma. And actually, there's no medical subject heading for just scleroderma by itself. You can select either systemic scleroderma or localized or limited or diffuse. If we looked at one of these records, we could look at the hierarchy below where the broader term is either skin diseases or connective tissue diseases, and then diffuse, limited, and CREST syndrome are narrower terms for systemic scleroderma. They've also said scleroderma renal crisis. Which is not actually a MeSH term, and neither is systemic sclerosis. As we saw, it was scleroderma, systemic. And let's look up the drug. This may be potentially the only actual MeSH term in this list. It is actually a supplementary concept, but they would have had to search it as a supplementary concept. It would not have searched as a MeSH term. It wouldn't have worked. So here's a review that described using MeSH terms for PubMed and Cochrane, which is appropriate, but then the medical subject headings that they provided are not actually MeSH terms, and that is problematic. And here's the thing, they said the search strategy combined free text search, which means keywords, medical subject heading terms, and synonyms. So that sounds great, right? But we don't see it anywhere. So all we know is that they've given us medical subject headings that aren't medical subject headings, and they have not provided a search strategy. So we have to take their word for it. You know, the best science is supposed to be transparent and reproducible, and this is not. Friends, here's another one. A cross-sectional bibliometric study was carried out analyzing the publications of journals indexed in Scopus between January 2016 and May 2022. A search strategy was developed using MeSH terms and Boolean operators. So I went to the article itself, and they selected Scopus, which includes MeSH terms, but they can't be searched this way. So these authors did provide us a beautiful reproducible search for Scopus, but these aren't MeSH terms. MeSH terms are medical subject headings. So infections, mycobacterium, tuberculosis. Let's just see if that's a MeSH term, a medical subject heading. And it is not. It maps to tuberculosis, which has some of these keywords here. It looks like they did use these synonyms, so overall it's a great search for Scopus, but these are not MeSH terms. So what's happened here is that we've got a search which does not use MeSH terms, and these are not searched as MeSH terms. MeSH terms only pertain to PubMed, MEDLINE, and the Cochrane Library databases. This is not the right way to describe creating a search. It would be preferable to say that you used search terms, free words, natural language, or keywords. The bottom line is that you end up reporting your search inaccurately. If you say that you used MeSH terms in your search, you need to use MeSH terms, and you need to use them in either PubMed, MEDLINE, or the Cochrane Library databases. And the way to do that is through PubMed and go to MeSH database. This is where you can look up the terms that you'll use. You can't make them up, they're already made. I hope this helped you understand MeSH terms a little bit better. Who can help you with this? A librarian. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.